My apologies. Thank you for coming today. We're showing the council that there are drivers that we do found is affecting us, affects our livelihoods, affects our mental well-being, cost of living, affects everyone, not just people. That affects us taxi drivers too. We are self-employed. We've had very difficult times for the last few years. We've had lockdowns to deal with. Many businesses you see around you, they'll look after. They've given £20,000, they've given £50,000 interest-free loans, everything. What did we have? What did we get? Nothing. Our little access nothing. What was really didn't pay for the mortgages, didn't pay for the food on our tables. Now they want to. No, we as people, we've got no issue with cleaning air yet. There's no issue. No, our argument is yet implement it properly and fairly, so we can upgrade our vehicles. Yeah, in a way that's not going to affect our livelihood. The way they want to implement it, it's going to affect us, and it's already sent many drivers over to the private hire industry. Yeah, when it's cheaper to run vehicles, it's cheaper to purchase a vehicle. That's going to leave a vacuum in the taxi trade, in the Hackney cabin trade, where people with disabilities, they're going to suffer because there'll be less meal checks and more taxis. There'll be people on a night out, for example Saturday night, wanting to get home, not enough taxis because drivers have changed their shift patterns, they're working then they're going home. That's leaving those vulnerable ladies, the vulnerable men, in a very awkward position. Standing city centre for hours to come where a taxi becomes available, or get into a vehicle that's not on active carriage, making the journey illegal, making insurance non-void as well. So there are all these issues that council need to take, and all we're saying is, what are we asking for? An extension to the exemption until 2024. Yeah? Yes. 2024, yeah? Yes. 2024. Yes. Extension to 2024. Yes. Exemption to 2024. Yes. Yes. What's this about? So what do we want?
Scrap it all together. Scrap it all together. We don't want an exemption. We want to scrap it. They know about the problems. They know about the problems you said because they engineer it. They're engineering it.
Well, they have been for over the years. We agree with you there.
They know every single problem, and they're trying to bring the whole city down. They're trying to rot the city. We don't want an exact. We don't want.
These managed to cancel theirs after taking the money, but these people are telling us that we
these
can't cancel.
are deluded psychopaths.
What are they then?
Deluded psychopaths. They're a program. They're a program, and you can't reason with a program. They're robots. They're robots.
Normally we get 10, 15, but this shows the amount of concern there is, how it's affected their livelihoods. So what do we need?
We need to get rid of them. We need to get rid of this software. We want to get rid of the software.
The software.
These in there, they're computers, and they're run by evil. They're run by evil. They're trying to bring the whole city to shit. They can't run anything. They've got no emotion.
So what do you want?
No emotion.
What do you want? What do you want?
Get them out! Get them out! Get them away! Get them out!
Yes, so we need an exemption so we can replace our vehicles over time. It is longer.
No.
Because it is council. We agree with you as well. It should have been scrapped. But they say they can't.
No, they will scrap it. Don't go for that. They will be made to scrap it.
Good, they will be made to scrap it.
They will be made to scrap it.
But today we're here for one specific reason. Was to get this exemption for taxi drivers. Otherwise we're all going to suffer.
Everybody out.
The public is going to suffer. The public is going to suffer. Just a no.
Removal woman.
Yes, we agree with you.
Doing my business, no.
Come on this side. Come on this side. Come on this side. Come on this side now. Come on this side. I'll say what you need to say now. I'll tell you you ain't got the mic. Go in.
I like to say, these people are not good enough to run a fish and chip shop. They're trying to run other people's life. And what's going to happen?
Definitely, that's a good point. Very good point.
What's going to happen? Everybody what's going to do? They're going to run a rat race. Going to side roads.
They're anti-life. They're anti-life.
Yeah. They're going to, people are going to run around side roads. What's going to happen? Woman's taking a kid to school. 3 kids, she can order 2. 1, if it's gone through with these cars,
they know it.
What's going to happen? They got run by the cars.
Yeah, they know
Who's going to be responsible?
They're psychopaths.
These people.
They're
If
psychopaths.
it's any murder,
they know
these
it.
people are
They
going to be
know it.
responsible.
They know it. They're psychopaths.
If anything happens to any kids,
They're trying to bring the city.
They're precious things.
You know this.
They are precious things.
Carbon neutral. We're carbon. They want end of humanity. They're insane. These people are insane. They're not even people.
These small towns, Rotherham, Barnsley, Chesterfield, are they going to build a wall in the middle?
They will.
They are still going to come into Sheffield.
They deluded. They deluded psychopaths.
Yeah, thank you, Master Man. I mean, you're right. We need to stand up, and it's important we stand up for our rights. And this is, you know, the show of support here. The number of crowds here shows that this is not just a political thing. This is something that affects every single driver.
Person.
It affects every driver, and it affects the general public as well. As I've said already, it affects us. We can't replace our vehicles. We can't replace our vehicles. Public can't catch taxis. Just mention children. What about this home to school contracts? What if those Hackney carriage vehicles aren't available? Those wheelchair accessible taxis aren't available? Who's going to pick those kids up? Are these councillors going to pick them up? Are the officers going to pick them up? What, make a decision on behalf of the councillors? No, they're not, because they're not going to be there. They're just going to be pen pushing. And this is what we're doing. This is rule. This is rule. So the officers get one shot.
What do you want? If it is suspension, what do you shout suspension? If it is scrapping, then you say scrapping.
What do you want? Scrapping. What do you want? Scrapping. What do we need? Scrapping. So we've got some councillors here to speak. We've got Councillor Mohammed Shafak.
Who's living? Oh yeah.
Sorry, Shafak Mohammed of the Liberal Democrats.
Yeah.
And we've got a second most important person here after me. Joe Otten. So this is the chair of the street scene. Where's the street scene? These are the people that make a decision on policy.
Let's go back in.
That's the policy. So
Not clean as it was.
Yeah, you know.
well, you can affect it. Okay, so a few words.
Orders from there.
Shout.
Oh, yeah, come on, admit it.
Right, okay.
Admit it. Just
So,
admit it.
as you know, so my committee does the licensing policy. So the recent policy changes on Hackney carriages that let you register older vehicles up to 7.5 years and rear-loading vehicles, which we understand are cheaper. Those are the changes that we made to the licensing policy to make it a bit easier for people to get Hackney carriages to get on the road.
But too late.
Well,
6 years too late.
It is too late. I agree.
We suggested in 2016, 6 years too late.
No, I agree.
6 years too late.
And the clean air zone is under Labour, is under the Transport Committee. I don't have control of that. And it was done 6 years ago. So you know,
And the council's under special measures because you're working so bad.
So with the council, so with the Lib Dems, will you support the taxi drivers asking for an exemption?
They're all
I think you've had a really bad deal, haven't you? And it's you're
Any
being
small
asked
business
to
has.
carry the burden, the whole of this.
Everywhere, all commercial vehicles, small businesses, as well as the taxi drivers, we picked them up on 2 different routes. You picked up commercial vehicles. Once you've got them pacified, or it had all died down, you then picked up the taxi drivers.
Next will be the private vehicles, and you'll know it. Admit it. Just admit it. Just admit it. Let him admit it. It's private vehicles.
All right, listen, you can either shout at us or you can actually listen to us, right?
Listen to you.
First of all, you need to realise
Please, sir.
so you can shout at me all day long, but you're not going to keep it far.
You'll never
right?
change the programme. Never change the
Please, sir,
robot.
if you could keep it down a bit.
Out of 84 councillors, only 2 are bothered to turn up. So you might just want to give us 5 minutes, right? First and foremost, Hafiz is right to be angry that when this clean air zone was first moved to around 2017,
Yep.
right? That at that point there was calls for vehicles and the specification, and it was only Joe's committee in February, I think it was Joe, they actually were flexible. So you've got every right to ask those questions, but not shoot Joe, who's only took on the job for the last 12 months, when people in there have had 5-6 years to do it. That's first thing. Secondly, the clean air zone was a stipulation of government to say you've got a problem with air. However, it asked the question of councils to come forward with plans to deal with. And you had two very different approaches at the same time. And it's not a million miles away, it's not Scotland or Wales, it's Rotherham. Where's he gone? Fluffy can't know it well because he lives there. So Rotherham and Sheffield were asked at the same time, you've got a problem with clean air zones, clean air, what's your plan? And Rotherham Council come with a plan, with what they call as a no charging plan. So they've got plans to clean the air, but they're not charging vehicles. The council in there decided, exactly, it wasn't mandated, but the council in there and the councillors, different ones, eventually they said they wanted a charging zone, and that's what you've ended up with. They did that in October 2021. And my gripe with them was that we weren't in charge. We were the opposition, and we have been since 2010. Right? But we took up some positions on the committee to make sure we could try to mitigate against some of the stuff. And I said to them, if you've decided to do it, then have the courage to go and tell them, the people out there, that it's going to happen, so they have time. And what they did it, and they didn't actually make the public announcement of the start date in February this year, even though we knew about it during the summer. And that was my gripe with them, that you're not going to stop it because you've signed up to it, unlike Leeds and Manchester. At least give these guys enough time, and that's when I lobbied Joe and others to say, for heaven's sake, them taxis, them electric ones, are costing £60,000, are not really working here because of the hills. So we need flexibility. And yeah, they have, that's what I said, it was a choice that the council made, but they signed up to it and they weren't going back. And out of 84 councillors, by the way, I only have 29. So 84, 29 doesn't quite stack up. So ultimately, they then gave you that exemption, not to the businesses, but the black cabs. And what I did last week, I spoke to the new chair of the Transport Committee at a meeting that we had. And I said to him, look, there's an issue that's coming. There's a cliff edge that the taxi drivers are facing. I know you're giving them some grants, but actually the availability of these rear loading vehicles is simply not there. And if someone's telling you there's 700 vehicles, where are they all? They're all over the country, i.e. Scotland, Northern Ireland, etc. So I said to him, look, if the issues were there beforehand, before the election, for you to delay it, what's changed? Because the vehicles, a splurge of these rear loading vehicles, and then Hafiz will tell you more than I do that you can't just buy a vehicle, you also need to adapt it, Hafiz. And I don't know how long that'll take. So I said to him, look, you're the chair, not me, but if you want my opinion, I think you should offer a level of flexibility to him. He's asked for 12 months. I said to him, it's up to you whether you can give him 12 months or not. If you can't give him 12, give him 6 or give him 3, whatever.
It's not enough.
But
Scrap it.
So I said to him, you need to meet with him. And he said to me, he was going to meet with you guys. Now, whether he has or not, I don't know. I don't know.
You seem to be going halfway. You think some of it's reasonable. What I'm saying is none of it's reasonable. It's delusional.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're saying, oh, we need a few more years. We don't. There's no problem.
Listen,
there's no problem with clean air.
If someone signs up for something,
it doesn't matter.
We
didn't sign up for it. We didn't sign up for it.
They've signed up the city.
We haven't signed up for it.
Look, listen. Right.
We don't want any fake politics.
Will you listen to me or not? I was at school when we signed up to the World Student Games, and guess what? We're still paying 24 million quid. Whether you signed up to it, I didn't either.
I didn't sign up for it. I didn't sign up.
Yeah, but listen. So just because you didn't sign up, there's 500,000 people here. You elect 84 people in there. At the moment, you've elected 39 Labour councillors, 29 of mine. We don't have the majority, right? So just because you don't like it and I don't like it, you know, the World Student Games happened, like I said to you, they were signed up when I was at school. I'm 50 now, right? We are still paying for those, £24 million, whether you signed up for it or not. That's what I'm saying to you. They've signed up to the clean air zone in October 21, right? The councillors at the time, some are here, some are gone. That's the reality, right? If you wanted to stop that clean air zone, then you should have voted for something different. But unfortunately, I have to say to you guys, ask yourself who you voted for this time round. Because somebody in Darnell pulled me over there. And said to me, this is really bad.
Voted Labour Where the Labour councillors?
Well, that's up to you to challenge. That's not my problem. That is your problem.
Thank you, Sheffield.
Right? So what I'm saying to you is, if he's going to go in there, he's got every right to ask those questions. Whether he gets the right answer or not, I will continue to push the council to say you need to show some flexibility. And we also have, I don't know where the business people are, we also said that specific businesses are also having issues. And if you've got a pot of money, what I don't want you to do is what you did with the business support grants during COVID, when we had £16 million worth of money left in the bank account that had to go back to government because we didn't give it out.
COVID didn't
so
exist.
What I want is, I want that money allocated
Didn't exist.
to businesses, including taxi drivers and others. And if there's a problem still, then we go back to government and ask for more. But what I can't do, and I'm not going to deny it to you, they've already signed up to it. Not me, they, and it's not going to stop now.
You're all in the same pot.
Yes.
You pretend to be.
Yes.
You pretend to be opposition, and you say, "Oh, we'll, go halfway with the madness. You'll go the whole way, and then they'll vote for us. Then you'll bring it in the end."
Yeah.
It's all a fake.
Chase,
We know.
Yes. So,
COVID didn't take this
fine.
the virus.
That's the truth.
And you know
That's the truth. The
I've come
truth.
to speak to him here.
You're telling lies.
That's my opinion. You either agree with it or you don't.
Sheffield, thank you. Just want to finish off just by confirming. So do you support our exemption request?
I support your exemption request. The issue is I don't have a vote there to do it. I will try to speak today if I can. But also, because I could. All right, you want to come and see how it works? Come and see how it works.
That's what it's like.
I
just representing them here now. Yeah, you represent them now. You have to say the right thing.
I will try to speak today. If not, I'll use other opportunities to speak. Right? But the issue is, whether you live in Darnall, Netheredge, Burngreath, Firth Park, you've elected Labour councillors. Ask yourself, where are they?
We invited everyone.
You vote so January.
They all lying. They all lying. We're going to get
Liar.
See you later.
Liar.